From the very first snap in football history, the sport has thrived on deception, on the art of making a defense think it knows what's coming, only to pull the rug right out from under them. Trick plays are the magic acts of the NFL. They turn quarterbacks into receivers, linemen into heroes, and coaches into master illusionists. They are moments when chaos meets genius, and when they work, they leave both fans and players shaking their heads in disbelief. Over the years, the NFL has gifted us with an unforgettable collection of these rare, perfectly executed gambles, plays that flipped games, won championships, and carved themselves into football lore. It all starts with the unexpected. Like the running back who throws a touchdown in the biggest game of the year. A little toss here, a quick set of feet, and suddenly it's not the quarterback who's launching the ball, it's Joe Mixon, firing a strike for 6 in the Super Bowl. Or that infamous preseason moment when a punter named Trapasso decided he wasn't going to punt at all. The fake was so convincing that by the time the defense realized what happened, he was already racing to the end zone. But for pure audacity, few trick plays matched the ones that even legendary defensive minds couldn't stop. In Miami, the Dolphins, once lined up in a bizarre, almost comedic formation, the kind of thing you'd expect to see in a backyard game, not an NFL field. And yet, somehow, it worked. The snap, the misdirection, and just like that, touchdown. New Orleans did it too, snapping directly to Deuce McAllister. For a score that left defenders frozen in place, and then there's Philadelphia. Nobody has turned a single play into a weapon of mass deception, like the Eagles have with their unstoppable tush push, that power quarterback sneak that's so feared. Entire defenses collapsed just at the sight of it. But Philly took it one step further. They disguised it, faked it, turned it into tosses, handoffs, even passing plays. Defenses sold out to stop the push, only to watch DeAndre Swift stroll into the end zone untouched. Loft a pass for 6. But the greatest fake version of this play didn't even come from the PROs. Rutgers, in a college game, botched a snap so convincingly that it became a free-flowing scramble straight into the red zone. It was chaos turned into gold. Derrick Henry has his own chapter in this playbook of mischief. The direct snap, the quick leap into the air, and a floating pass to Corey Davis. A moment where the league's most feared power back became a quarterback for just long enough to remind everyone he's more than just brute force. Then there was the Texans' sleight of hand, hiding the ball so well that by the time it emerged from a tangle of trickery, Deshaun Watson was in the end zone before anyone knew he had it. Some plays are so clever, the reaction in the booth becomes part of the legend. You can hear the shock, the disbelief, the pure joy of watching a coach call something insane and have it actually work. Few coaches embody that spirit like Ben Johnson. Before taking the Bears' head coaching job, he was the Lions' architect of madness, dialing up perfect hook, candilators, stumble passes, even letting his offensive linemen throw. Sometimes it worked beautifully, sometimes it didn't, but the imagination was undeniable. And then come the trick plays that didn't just fool defenses, they altered legacies. Like Pat McAfee, the punter who decided he'd recover his own onside kick. The idea came from noticing a gaping hole in the middle of the field. The call came with a dare. If you call it, you better get it. He did. Or Antonio Brown, a rookie whose very first NFL touch on an end-around in a playoff game turned into a touchdown. Or Tom Brady, of all people, cutting upfield as a receiver and even trying his hand at a quick kick. Then there's Matthew Stafford, who in a pressure cooker situation with the clock dying, faked a spike, caught the defense napping, and dove in for a game-winning score. But no one plays the long game of trickery better than Andy Reid. He's handed the ball. 2 350-pound defensive tackles to throw touchdowns. Turned Patrick Mahomes into a decoy. And called elaborate red zone misdirections in the most high-stakes situations, including the Super Bowl that broke a 50-year championship drought for Kansas City. Sometimes, though, the stakes are so high that a failed trick play could be disastrous, and yet teams do it anyway. Like the Seahawks in the 2015 NFC Championship, down 16-0 with nothing working. A fake field goal turned into a touchdown to an offensive lineman gave them life, sparked a comeback, and sent them to the Super Bowl. Or the Steelers in Super Bowl 40. Calling for Antoine Randall L., a wide receiver and former college quarterback, to throw a 50-yard bomb to Hines Ward to put the game away. But if you want guts, look no further than Sean Payton's Saints in Super Bowl 44. Down at halftime, they opened the second half with a surprise onside kick, a play that, if failed, could have handed Peyton Manning control of the game. It worked, flipped the momentum, and gave New Orleans its first Lombardi trophy. And then, it's the most famous trick play in NFL history. Super Bowl 52. 4th and goal. The underdog Eagles, led by backup quarterback Nick Foles, staring down Tom Brady and the Patriots. Instead of taking the easy points, Foles looked at his coach and asked, "You want Philly, Philly?" The ball was snapped not to the quarterback but to a tight end, a reverse, lob into the end zone. Touchdown, Nick Foles, the Philly. Special didn't just win a Super Bowl. It became immortal. Trick plays are about more than just scoring points. They're about seizing the moment, about daring to be unpredictable when everything is on the line. They're part strategy, part showmanship, and part defiance. A way of saying to your opponent, asterisk, we're not just going to beat you. We're going to surprise you, asterisk, in a league built on preparation and discipline. It's the plays nobody sees coming that echo the loudest. And as long as there's football, there will always be room for one more masterpiece of deception. One more unforgettable trick to remind us why we love this game.